Good morning. My name is Odie McKinley, and I'm the Media and Communications Manager here at the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Today, I'm lucky to be joined by my colleagues Amy Rencher, Senior Vice President of Small Business Services, and Michele Wildman, the Executive Vice President for Economic Development Incentives. Thank you so much for joining us today, ladies.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, our pleasure.
Oh, great. So it is the gift giving season, and that means it's a perfect time for supporting Michigan's small businesses. And so today we're hoping to discuss a little bit how choosing locally owned businesses can have a really big impact on our local communities. So if I can, I'll start with Amy. Michigan is home to more than 900,000 small businesses, which employ nearly half of Michigan's workforce. To start, how does the Michigan Economic Development Corporation define the small in small business, and how important are those small businesses to Michigan's economy?
That's a great question. Small business means a lot of things to a lot of different people. It can mean everything from your, mom and pop Main Street business around the corner. It's a freelancer, sole proprietor, someone, doing work on the side, getting their start. All the way up to more established businesses, we sort of, 10 to 99 employees, we might call that second stage businesses, or even more growth oriented businesses with sort of hundreds of small business owners, or hundreds of employees rather. These are all technically under the SBA's definition, small businesses. So we enjoy a lot of opportunity to interact with small businesses of various sizes and makeups across the state. And to your point, they are such an important part of our vibrant Michigan economy, for making beautiful downtown places, attracting and retaining talent here in the state, and driving real economic impact.
Yeah, small business owners probably don't feel like their businesses are very small. The amount of work that goes into them is an incredible feat. But to talk about that, Michele, locally owned shops, restaurants, and other small businesses truly are the cornerstone of Michigan's communities, and of all sizes. And how important is it for these small businesses to draw in residents and visitors alike to these downtown districts?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely critical, right? Small businesses are literally the heart of our downtowns and neighborhood business districts, and the heart, because people develop an emotional connection to those small businesses, and whether it's their favorite restaurant or retail shop, or the small business that's been servicing multiple generations of the same family, the success of those small businesses also has a positive and catalytic impact on the rest of the district and the rest of their neighboring business owners. You may head to downtown to dine at your favorite restaurant, but maybe you visit the shop next door while you're waiting for a table. You also see Main Street directors and DDA directors alike kind of harnessing the success of those, anchor businesses that are successful, and draw to do things like host events like restaurant weeks, promote holiday festivals and other place-based activities. So there really is, a connection, absolutely critical to the success of those business districts within the communities throughout the state.
Yeah, there's excuse me. The incentive for these small businesses and communities to put together events and festivals to bring people into the community is really an incredible feat to watch and be part of. And I would be remiss, just for those listening in, for information on how to support these small businesses and communities across the state. We can go to michigan.org/support local. For more information and certainly how you can help support the communities throughout the state. And this is both up for Michele or Amy. Can you share some examples of how the MEDC helps these communities create these vibrant public spaces to, as we mentioned, help attract people to the communities, which also brings new businesses to these downtowns?
Well, we have a wonderful program that actually spans our two worlds here, the community development and small business world, called Match on Main, that provides up to $25,000 grants for essentially placemaking activities and other activities that drive economic impact in our Main Street and redevelopment ready communities across the state. Michele can speak much more detail to the impact of Main Street communities and redevelopment ready communities. But it's critical, as we look to, continue to create vibrancy in downtowns, drive economic impact, help people, make place that we can spur little improvements here and there. So these matchmaking grants, we just announced our most recent round of $800,000 in awards to 35 communities across the state. So this truly is a statewide campaign. Do things like help people establish a takeout window or outdoor dining, or help create visual merchandising or reorganize space in a way that adds on new lines of business through packaging or the like. Incredible opportunities, and just one of a suite of services and programs we have at the MEDC to support small businesses. But would certainly love Michele to talk in more detail about the connection to community development and Main Street and RRC.
Yeah, Michele.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's one of the good examples of ways we try to support those types of connections, right? And really helping those core business districts, whether they be Main Street communities or redevelopment ready communities, or kind of thrive in the state and grow. The supporting those small businesses, enabling things like expansions and successful startups are really important. It's really important that those districts continue to thrive and have that broader catalytic impact on the community. So it's one of the ways that we try to support and complement that technical assistance programming that we have for communities throughout Michigan.
Yeah, and if there are any small business owners listening in today, you can learn more about resources available by visiting michiganbusiness.org/small business. All right, so Amy, for small business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs listening in today, what are some of the resources available at michiganbusiness.org/small business to these businesses across the state?
Yes, and so we just talked about Match on Main, one of our wonderful flagship initiatives, and just again, we just announced a whole slew of awards in 35 communities across the state. We're really excited about these most recent awardees, and another round of applications will open soon, so please stay on the lookout for that. We have other programs that help support more established businesses. We have a partnership with the Edward Lowe Foundation that helps support second stage of more established companies, those with around 100 employees or less, help not only sustain business but take it to the next level. So we talk about entrepreneurship sometimes as a lonely sport. It is hard to start a business. It's also hard to sustain it over time. And so for those more established small business owners, we have wonderful partnerships that connect them to mentorship, CEO, industry, and peer-to-peer roundtable opportunities. We have targeted consultative services that provide market research. Certainly in one of our other flagship programs, the Pure Michigan Business Connect, helping both businesses on the very small end and larger end of small businesses attract new connections for sales opportunities in some of our most major distributors and grocery stores and other major industries across the state. One of our more unique and newer programs is the Industry 4.0 initiative. This is specific but really important, right? So on the higher end of what we would consider small business, we have a vast number of legacy manufacturing companies here in the state of Michigan that have the opportunity to harness automation and provide training to their employee base to make sure that they sustain their work over time. And so our Industry 4.0 initiative connects folks to upskilling training, grant opportunities to bring on new equipment and help continue the great work of those companies for years to come.
Yeah, no, that's great. And again, for a suite of services available to small businesses, we recommend going to michiganbusiness.org/small business. And, as employees of the MEDC, we have a concerted effort to ensure that we too are doing what we can do to support small businesses here in Michigan. But for both Michele and Amy, what are some of your favorite ways to support those businesses during this holiday season?
Yeah, well, I'll start there. I feel like I have maybe disproportionate number of those sort of hard to buy for people in my family, right? Like everybody has that relative that has absolutely everything, and you find that some of those small locally owned shops are where you can really find those unique gift items. So that's one of my favorite ways. Similarly, giving the gift of your time, buying that hard to buy for a person, a restaurant gift card, and then joining them, right? Many times we don't get enough time with some of those family members. So giving the gift, supporting a small restaurant, locally owned restaurant, while also, giving the gift of your time are some of my favorite ways to support around the holidays.
Absolutely. And Amy, how about you?
There are so many ways to shop local, and I'm just thinking about sometimes the challenges folks may think, hey, I'm short on time, or you're not really sure where to start. I think a helpful stat that the Michigan Retailers Association I think has put out recently is that for every $100 you spend locally, and every $100 you spend in a small business, 68 of those dollars stays local. So think of how many $100 purchases you're making this holiday season. For many, it's quite a few. Honestly, even at a grocery store or corner store kind of market, those all count, right? So I would encourage folks to think about changing habits. This is a great time of the year to start thinking about changing habits. So it's shopping from your farmer's market as opposed to maybe a larger grocer. Even those are great too because they employ folks. When you think about shopping online, pause for a moment and see, is it an in-store purchase I can make around the corner, or does that in-store opportunity also translate to online? Do they have online sales? Maybe they sell through Instagram Live, or maybe you can just call and make a phone order to your local small business. When you shop locally regularly, you make relationships. I think sometimes we've forgotten about sort of the joy of relationships in shopping is like having that, trusted, be it someone you buy, dresses from for special events, groceries, a butcher, or, someone with a specialty store, making these connections certainly cements these places long-term in your community. Helps build community. But remember, that those relationships not only impact you and your buying power, but others over time. And so I think, the tip I have for this time of the year is more so about forward thinking and like the ways that we are really strategically thinking about shopping local here, from, festive downtown holiday markets to, again, the sort of corner store around the street. I really encourage folks to think about continuing that behavior over time. And then just, this is a tough time for many, certainly economically speaking. And so there are also ways without spending money, you can support small business. Most folks are active online these days in various capacities. If you, leave a positive review, like a page, share on Google your experiences. These are all follow just a business, comment on their posts. These are all ways that when you're, just regularly helping build traction in ways that aren't necessarily spending money, but still supportive of small businesses.
Yeah, I too want to share one of my favorite things that we've done in the past, and this year included. Here in the Lansing area, there's a glass blowing shop. And so not only did my wife and I have the experience of going there and taking a glass blowing class, we ended up with some gifts to be able to give away this holiday season, but also things like gift certificates to a place like that, where it's not just you're unwrapping a gift, you're unwrapping an experience that will help create a memory. Just things like that. There's also a glass shop here where we made a bunch of glass ornaments for our family this year. And so it's kind of a win-win for my wife and I. We get to spend time doing something neat and learn about something, but then also be able to give a unique gift from a small business here in the Lansing area to our family members. So there's a lot of great ways to support those small businesses. And so we implore people to think about that. Sometimes it's pretty easy to jump online to a large retailer from a convenience perspective, but it's worth a little extra effort to just go out there and support some of the businesses, shops, and restaurants in the communities that we live in and travel to. But with that, again, thank you, Michele and Amy. What a great conversation today about supporting the businesses here in Michigan. which inevitably helps Michigan be, just the great place to live, work, and play. And thanks to everyone for watching today and joining in. Again, for more ideas how you can support local businesses this holiday season, please visit michigan.org/support local. And for the small business owners out there, to learn more about resources available to you, visit michiganbusiness.org/small business. Again, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Michelle, and Michelle, sorry.
Thanks, Odie. Appreciate it.
Have a
Our
great
pleasure.
season.
Shop local. Enjoy the season. Happy holidays.
That's right. Happy holidays to all.
Indeed. Happy holidays.